Do you ever feel like you're getting lasered the second you peek or take a fight in FORTNITE? You barely have time to react, your builds go up half a second too late, and before you know it, you're already back in the lobby wondering what just happened to you. Most players think it's all about aim, and yeah, hitting your shots matters a ton, but the real reason you keep getting melted, it's your movement. FORTNITE isn't just about fast edits or cracked aim. Your movement, how you position yourself, peek, dodge edits, and rotate is one of the hidden skills that helps you win fights, even against players with better aim or mechanics. Think about it. If you're easy to track standing still while tunneling, peeking the same way every time or sprinting in straight lines, even the best shotgun aim in the world isn't going to save you from getting beamed. But once you master movement fundamentals, the little advanced techniques that make you harder to predict, that's when everything changes. Suddenly, you're the one making players miss their shots. You're winning fights you shouldn't be winning, you're clutching up games left and right. The crazy thing, most players never even realize movement is the reason they feel stuck or the reason they can't improve. Let's start with something smaller but super important, your micro movement. Everyone talks about aim, editing, or piece control, but your micro movement happens every second, even when you're standing still, and it can literally win or lose fights. I'm talking about the little adjustments you make while holding an angle, pre-aiming your peek, or waiting inside your box. If you stand still like a statue, predictable with your shotgun out, you're basically giving your opponent a free shot on you. Good players will track your head, time your peek, and laser you before you can even react. The best players, they never stop micro moving. They strafe left and right in small, controlled bursts. They crouch spam sometimes, they jump a little just to mess with headshot angles, they barely peek their shoulders to bait a reaction. They set a rhythm with their movement, then suddenly break that rhythm, making their opponents miss. It throws off even cracked aimers. The timing is key here. You don't just spam side to side like a bot, you mix it up. Slow strafe left, pause, quick strafe right, crouch, bait the peek, then swing when they least expect it. That's how you stay unpredictable and alive in fights most people would lose. This also works during building too. A lot of players tunnel or rotate in straight, easy to track lines. They do their 90s the same way every time, they tunnel at the same speed every zone. But if you mix up your movement, hesitate for a second, zigzag your builds, or crouch randomly, change height without warning, you make it harder for people to track you. They miss shots, waste materials, and you stay in control. When you master micro movement, your gameplay feels smoother, more confident, and way harder for others to punish. The next part of movement is your peeking. FORTNITE's third-person camera gives you a huge advantage with right-hand peeks, but a lot of players forget this or set up fights wrong. You should always try to force right-hand peeks, whether you're boxing up, holding walls, or building cones. Your setup should give you angles that favor your camera. Right-hand peeks expose less of your body while still letting you see and shoot. It's the difference between one pumping your opponent or getting lasered without hitting a shot. But just knowing about right-hand peeks isn't enough. The real skill is keeping your peeks unpredictable. If you crouch peek the same window every time or wide swing your edits with no variety, opponents catch on. That's when they pre-fire, time their shots, or hit crazy flicks. So mix up your peeks. Use jump peeks to mess with your vertical aim, quick shoulder peeks to bait shots, edit reset to fake them out, then re-peek from another angle. Layer your peeks with cones, ramps, windows, peanut butter edits, anything to force hesitation. Advanced peeking also means adding movement tools. Slide out of peeks to change your hitbox, mantle walls to get sneaky height, chain side jumps with builds to make weird angles they don't expect. The second you stop being predictable, your fights get so much easier. But the real test for your movement comes during rotations. Bad rotation movement gets punished harder than anything else, especially in stacked endgames or high-level ranked. Players that sprint in straight lines, rotate at the same speed, or tunnel without thinking, they're easy targets. You've seen it. A player sprinting to zone, head down, wide open. They get beamed by 5 people and wonder why. Good rotation movement is all about timing, direction, and throwing off your patterns. Zigzag your rotates, add little pauses, crouches, sudden height changes, use terrain like hills, old builds, even loot piles for cover. Don't tunnel vision your path, adjust based on how the lobby is playing. Rotating early can help you with positioning, but it also makes you visible. Rotating late keeps you hidden, but forces riskier plays. You need to read the lobby and mix up your timing. Rotate early one game, late the next. That unpredictability keeps you safer. Movement items matter too. Shockwaves, anything. Save them for tough rotates or bad zones. Burning them early because you panicked leaves you with no options later on in the game. Layer switching during rotates is another thing most casual players forget. If you stay mid-layer the whole time, you're easy to target. Switch between high and low layers to dodge beams, confuse trackers, and find safer paths. Reuse your old builds, cones, ramps, tunnels, whenever possible. It hides you and makes it harder for enemies to beam you. Better rotation movement keeps you alive and in control even during crazy endgames. There's also a sneaky but important part of movement, disguising your patterns. Most opponents react based on your rhythm, how you strafe, how you edit, how you sprint. But if you disguise your movement, you bait their reactions and punish them. Start with slow, steady strafes. They relax, thinking they figured you out. Then you snap into a fast strafe with a quick peek. They miss, you punish them. You can disguise building patterns too. Fake a triple edit, pause, then reverse or side jump off the wall. They react the wrong way and suddenly you get free piece control. Even crouch spams disguised as hesitation can make them waste shots. Movement isn't just physical, it's also mental. If they can't predict you, they can't stop you. And by the way, all this movement stuff feels useless if your game is super laggy, delayed, or your FPS is super choppy. That's why I use Risen Tweaks, today's video sponsor. I've been using their Extreme Pack, and the difference is insane. It clears out junk on your system, removes useless programs, boosts your network for lower ping, and makes Fortnite run way smoother with less input delay. Especially for movement-heavy players, having a smooth game makes everything easier. Your builds feel snappy, your peaks look clean, your aim tracks better. If you want to try it, there's even a free version to get started. But if you're serious about performance, I fully recommend their Pro or Extreme packs. That's what I use. Plus, use code FLOW at checkout for 15% off. It supports me and lets me keep making content like this for you guys. Links in the description. Definitely worth it to check it out if you want Fortnite feeling buttery smooth. But even with perfect FPS and zero delay, if your movement stays predictable, good players will still punish you. Everyone builds habits. You strafe the same way, peek the same edits, sprint in the same direction. High-level players spot these patterns fast and punish them. The fix? Self-awareness. Record your gameplay, watch your fights, study your own patterns. Are you always strafing right, peeking the same edits, sprinting in straight lines? Spot those habits and break them. It feels weird at first, moving differently, forcing randomness, but the more you mess with your old patterns and own patterns, the harder you are to predict in creative or scrims. Drill uncomfortable movement styles, change your peak angles, mix up your edits, practice weird strafe timings and jumps. The goal, even you shouldn't be able to guess your next move. If they can't read you, they can't react. They hesitate, miss shots, and fall apart in fights. Once you lock in these fundamentals, micro movement, advanced peeking, unpredictable rotates, disguise patterns, there's one more secret that makes movement elite. Momentum abuse. Fortnite's movements lets you chain momentum to gain speed, change direction faster, and move in ways that are super hard to track. Sliding after sprinting boosts your speed and lowers your hitbox. Mantling mid-fight messes with their vertical aim. Sprint delay resets let you fake direction switch, bait shots, and confuse them. In fight, momentum abuse looks like side jump chains, slide boosts to dodge shots, short sprint bursts to throw off crosshair placement. The best pros abuse momentum constantly. They stay moving, chaining edits, builds, and movement to overwhelm opponents. If your gameplay feels stiff, practice movement flow in creative maps or high-speed drills. Movement isn't just about mechanics, it's about speed control, flow, and unpredictability. Master those, and even fights start going your way. The biggest movement test comes during stacked endgames, when the lobby's full, zones are chaotic, and builds block everything. Lazy movement gets you eliminated early on. You need a layer switch often to avoid getting stuck. Mix in sprint bursts and pauses to dodge beams. Sharpen zigzags instead of lazy straight lines. Use zone edges or dead side rotates to avoid the crowded middle. Movement wins stacked endgames. Sloppy movement gets you lasered and sent back to the lobby. But smooth, tricky movement keeps you rotating safely and alive when others panic. At the end of the day, movement matters just as much as aim as builds or mechanics. Micro movements, clean peaks, unpredictable rotates, disguising patterns, and momentum abuse, and dominating stacked endgames. That's what separates average players from the ones winning fights and games constantly. Focus on your movement every time you load up. Watch your gameplay, fix your habits, drill random patterns. I promise you'll see a difference so fast. Opponents will miss more shots, you'll win awkward trades, you'll survive rotates that you used to get eliminated. That's when Fortnite stops feeling impossible and starts feeling like you control every single fight. If this helped, drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and tell me in the comments what's your biggest weakness in Fortnite right now. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to check out Risen's tweaks with code FLOW for that 15% off. And if you haven't yet, join the free Discord. There's a link below packed with free resources, drop maps, coaching, and more to help you improve. I love you all. You guys have a great rest of your guys' day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.